The last few years, I've been thinking about how to win against Silicon Valley and big social. I've been in this battle for a long time now, and I feel seasoned and that I'm clear and that the systems are obvious. Of course, execution is always the most important and challenging part, but once you get going in the right direction, the execution actually becomes fun. Hard goes away when imposter syndrome leaves. And imposter syndrome is based on the inside not matching the outside. If what's inside me does not match how I'm behaving in the marketplace, I'm going to feel imposter syndrome. And I don't want to fix my imposter syndrome at all. What I want to do is understand myself, what thoughts and beliefs and convictions in my own mind and my own life are creating the imposter syndrome, the behaviors that are exacerbating it and solidifying it into some kind of a confused conviction and attractive character presence in the market through marketing persuasion, and then stealing myself. We used to call it steel wrapped in cotton. Be steel wrapped in cotton. So you may not look strong on the outside, but you're invincible on the inside. And if you do these practices long enough, you get there, and then you can go into the marketplace and the society, and you don't care anymore what people think, because the driven, purpose-based vision can't be stopped. What I have also know is you can't do it alone. There's no question about that. We know that. Purpose power beats technology forced every time. There's nothing they can do about it. And it seems insurmountable, but it's not. They're vulnerable. Silicon Valley and big social are vulnerable right now. There's no way they're going to be able to stop this movement. And it's not my movement, it's the movement. Creative energy in the world and ideas in the world are free. Just because I have an idea doesn't mean I own the idea. It doesn't work like that. You take action on the creative energy and the idea. And when you bond together with other people, you're unstoppable. That's how it works. It's always worked that way throughout history. Now, obviously, consciousness is raised. So, the idea of conquering a territory and then killing everybody who won't go along, we do it in a different way now. So, the Elon Musk and the Oompa Loompas are trying to do it with incompetence. And eventually, we've got somebody running the United States of America right now who doesn't tolerate incompetence very long, but he can't see it clearly because he's not a leader. He's a follower. And what he follows is what goes on TV. And the minute he sees the train wreck, he will pivot immediately. And he'll put Elon Musk in a rocket ship, and he's going to make him build it because he'll put him in charge of NASA. And you know who else is going in that rocket ship? Amazon Bezos, Mark Opinion Projector Andreessen, and I think they'll let fake book Zuck come. They'll let him come. What else are you going to do with him? When you build bad companies that don't work and you keep asking for money, eventually dad takes the cookie jar away. My dad would have fired me after 3 months if I'd acted like these people when I came to work for him when I was in my 20s. And I delivered immediately. Within the first month, I got a $250,000 order from a department store chain that they'd never even been able to sell because I got results. These people can't get results. They've never gotten results. They get money is what they do, because you sell it to the next company. So financial founder mode, technology founder mode, and now what we're seeing is influencer founder mode leads nowhere. It doesn't lead to real businesses. They don't know anything about business. You can learn about business. The consulting industry is great at this. I've seen this for years. They call them signature methods. And consultants are useful because they understand complex technology. You need a McKinsey sometimes to come in. You need an Accenture. You need a Deloitte. They don't know anything about the businesses, though, because they've never done it. Going to Wharton or going to the University of Chicago does not mean you know how business works. You don't know how business works unless you've done it. And you got to get pounded long enough in the industry to be an expert in it. That's the only way. You can't watch somebody. There has to be something emotionally at stake. You got to make the payroll. You have to have a result. As far as I can tell, Mark Andreessen has never gotten a result. Bill Gates did. Larry Ellison did. And Mark Benioff did. They build companies. I don't see a company. I don't see a Facebook is a crappy company. Bad data, bad business model. It doesn't make any sense. This is the opportunity. Same with Amazon now. It started good. Look at it now. Amazon Bezos, put him in the rocket ship and send him to Mars. There's a better way. Jamie Dimon and Chase, same thing. Again, started. That was never good because you can't put financial engineers in charge of an economy. They support businesses, consultants, investment bankers, they support business owners. They're not the business owners. Yeah, they have businesses, and a lot of them are entrepreneurs. A lot of them innovate. It's not innovating to buy a bunch of local banks and form it into a global corporation with better technology because you get a lot of money coming at you, thrown at you. We saw this back in 2000. A top consultant, he ran, I think it was called Anderson Consulting. Now it's Accenture, same thing. They don't know what they're doing when it comes to running a business. They know they're experts in what they're expert in, and the business hires people like this to provide a service to the business. When you let those people run the business, they're going to run it into the ground. Now, the time frame, is it a fad or a trend? How long do trends last? Well, this one's lasting a long time. This technology founder mode thing of you don't have to make money. Spotify, I read that. Is this true? 18 years. My dad would have fired me. I took that business on my back and I turned it into a professional distribution company. I've done what I talk about, done it more than once over years in different markets. So I know what I'm talking about. So do a lot of other people. And that's why local community strategies are important. I'm already doing it. I'm forming it. We've already created a global platform for entrepreneurs online. And we have all the resources inside so they can succeed. You can win against the Google. I'm doing it. You can win against the Amazon. And you can win against the fake book and the influencer marketing strategies of people who don't even have a product. You don't have a product if your product's TikTok. There's no product. How to succeed on school. You don't have a product. School closes. Where are you going to go? And then people are like, well, I'll go on TikTok. You still don't have a product. TikTok has the product. It's not a real company. What is a real company? Well, a better product. I got a flat tire yesterday. Flat tire, what a pain in the ass. So I'm in a local co-working space now in Skokie. I go to every local business. I've been doing it since I was in my 20s. I've sold door to door for years, cold calls for years, corporate, software, services, products, insurance. At one point, I was the only local person that I saw in the State Farm network that actually really understood the interconnectedness between all these business policies. So I could sit down with a business owner and say, oh, you got some issues here with the interconnectedness between claims made policies for errors and omissions and malpractice, between the building you own that you've got your company housed in, and the liability issue you have where you don't have any workers' comp. And they're like, well, they're not my employees. Not according to the state of Illinois. You lose everything. Oh, I have a corporation. They'll pierce the corporate shield. They didn't even know this. And the state farm agents didn't know either. The guy I worked for gave me the opportunity to do this because he was an innovator, number 2 agent in Illinois. So he gave me the opportunity to do it. I made it work. How did I do it? I went door to door on the ground. I get a tire flat. I'm like, all right. So I got one of those little things you pump it up. We got it on Amazon. It didn't work right. It's okay. My daughter's buying stuff on TikTok and it's coming and she's like, this is crap. It's like the decoder ring in Christmas Story. Damn commercial. Now there's good stuff in all this. TikTok has incredible people on it, but it's not a product. They need products to make money. You're not going to make money on TikTok unless you've got some kind of a thing going on, but you don't own it. So why would you do that? It's stupid. Simple. That doesn't mean you're stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. It's not an immutable life condition. You can move past stupid. I've been stupid a lot. I've done all kinds of stupid things, and then I get smarter. Trump's had a real accomplishment. He built hotels and stuff, and he did a lot of stupid stuff, but he took people down with him, and then he's too big to fail. The United States of America is too big to fail. And I don't know if you've looked, but maybe Gulf of America is a better name for it because, it's the Americas. There's a country north of us called Canada, and there's one south of us called Mexico, and below that, there's a bunch more countries. I've been in them. So I know they're there. So make America great again. First, it's not America, it's part of it. Let's make it all great. How's that? Again, why would you go backwards? Let's learn from the past and go forwards. What's next? Well, that's what I'm talking about here. Entrepreneurs, coaches, and service providers, like the mechanic. I got a tire. He's like, you're going to need new tires. Are you kidding me? He said, how old are they? And he's explaining it to me. I didn't trust him at first. He said, well, there's a law. I said, is it federal or state? Every 5 years. He's like, I can't patch your tires 5 years. I'm not allowed. I'm like, God damn it. Damn government. This guy knows what he's doing, but I didn't trust him. So then I go back and I talked to somebody else because I met a water remediation specialist that I found on Google by looking below the fold because everything up at the top is crap and they're going to come in my house and screw it up. And I don't want those people in my life. You almost know? No, that's expensive. Plumber, American Vintage Home, the best plumbing company in this region. I got nothing against the founder selling it. The problem is who he sold it to and what happened afterwards. It's a roll-up out of Grand Rapids, I think. And I'm like, I know how this works. I've been part of it forever, both sides of it in some ways. But no, I don't allow the financial engineers and the technology founder mode people to impact my life too long. They get in the way is what they do. How do you get rid of them? That's what we're talking about. Local strategies, global interconnected platforms together that we own. Not them. Use them. They're there. Use Facebook. Use TikTok. There's good people on these things, but they're not making enough money. They can. But you got to have the local strategy. This guy's telling me about Tesla, and he's like, this company's a problem in the automotive industry. He's like, I haven't made good cars for years. And I know this because I have my dad's old Lexus. I don't like the car that much, but it's a good car. And I replaced the front end brake system, or not the front end, whatever that thing is. I don't know what it's called. And Seinfeld, they called it a Johnson rod. It's like, you need a new Johnson rod. Well, okay. You can't trust him. This place I could trust because I'm talking to this. He's at the front desk. He's not an AI bot online. You can't trust Midas, Jiffy Lube, any of these places because they don't care. It's process companies like Amazon. They're just trying to process faster. I've seen these people for years. You can't trust them. They don't know what they're doing. And nobody wants to work there for long. They're there because they have to be, or they feel they don't have to be. We're going to provide alternative employment. You can do this in your local community. What is Amazon going to do when all the gig workers decide not to work there anymore because there's better alternatives? Who's going to create them? We are. People in our local communities who know what we're doing. We're going to provide jobs because we need them. Good quality people. I've been doing it for years. I know how to do it. And I know how to do it with very little money. I built a $30 million business infrastructure that hasn't existed before in the combination it's in for a couple grand a month. And I took the risk. That's an entrepreneur. You take the risk. It's not a risk if you got $100 million sitting in the bank or you want more. They want more. The AI companies, they want more money. Are you kidding me? You can't even make spell check work on an iPhone and you want more money. And you built a closed loop system. Tesla is a closed loop system. Apple's a closed loop system. Amazon, oh my gosh, you're in the way. How do you win? Beat them. I'm not begging anybody for anything. I didn't even put not for profit on my map for local chapters. We want to have 50 local chapters in this area. I've already started. They're all in. Every time I meet somebody, the mechanic's in. He's like, oh, yeah, let me know. We'll have an automotive, transportation chapter, public works chapter. We'll have a chapter for financial and insurance people that know what they're doing. We'll have a chapter for musicians and artists. You can do this in your own community. We'll give you the roadmap. I'm going to make a ton of money, but I'm not charging for everything because you're homeless, let's say. We have refugees in our community. People, let's bring them into the economy. Trump's going to support it because his head turns. We're the neck. You can turn the Trump head. Why? Because he wants a spot on Mount Rushmore, number 5. Maybe they'll make a bigger statue of him above. He's like, well, they'll put Trump on top of Mount Rushmore. Let him have it. It's in South Dakota. It's a tourist attraction. Gigantic ball of twine on the way. I did vacations in the Wisconsin Dells. I know how this works. Got Paul Bunyan statues. We're in flyover country. This is where all the good stuff's coming from. It's got to. Because in New York, you can't screw up. That's why Trump learned in the 70s. You can't make a mistake. It's over for you. Out here, we can experiment. That's what I do. And it works. Eventually, you get somewhere. Now it's time. It's February. My deadline was last week. This technology is complicated. You know what's complicated? It's the integration stuff. It's all of it's complicated. That's why I have a whole team of people. I'm not paying them. I'm helping them make money. They see the vision and they're in. They're good people. That's the key. Find the good people in your community. They're there. I'm finding them every day, every single day. I find 5 or 6 more people and I tell them what I'm doing and they're like, I'm in. What do I have to do? This. We'll make money together or you pay us. Either way, I don't care. Like whatever works to make this happen. Entrepreneurs, coaches, and service providers who focus on better product, win, thrive, and impact as our software updates lead to a kernel. What's a software update? You release the imposter syndrome. You release the fear. You become invincible. That's a software update. It's got to start inside first, and then the outside matches the inside. You can't run around and change the outside and hope the inside changes. It doesn't work like that. And this does not mean you have to spend all your time in ayahuasca retreats manifesting and meditating and doing spiritual development. Spiritual development is getting smarter in the world. It happens automatically when you get truthful with yourself. What is in my thoughts? How are my emotions? Honestly, feel what's going on. I succeed because I embrace pain. Love it. Always have. I'm not trying to be popular. I'm not trying to figure out how to change everybody else. That doesn't work. Change the inside. Be the change you want to see in the world. I'm doing that. I feel great. I don't have imposter syndrome. It's not inevitable. People talk, well, I'm on the stage and I have imposter syndrome and everybody's clapping. Oh, I'm working so hard on my imposter syndrome. You don't work on it. You get honest with yourself and it goes away. I'm not making this shit up. The solid core of good code inside. You think Tesla's got good code? I don't think so. I think they're going to put Elon and the Oompa Loompas in a spaceship. He's going to make it, and Trump's going to put him in charge of NASA, and they're all going with him because they're all going to get fired when they don't deliver. Don't worry about the opinions in the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf of America. Nobody cares. In the real world, it's an online fabrication of reality, it doesn't matter. Trump's looking at it because he knows if he can dominate that, he's going to get success, credit, and recognition, which is what he craves. Give it to him. You want to be right or you want to be happy? I want to be happy and make money and not have crap around me that doesn't work anymore. I'm sick of it. Bad dentists, dentology. I looked at that. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? My dentist is like, she's worried about it. She's like the Gen Z. They don't know the difference between a good dentist and a good hygienist and a bad one. The attractive characters look attractive online and in the office. It's a big problem. A lot of us are aware of this. If you're aware of it, you're going to be in the right place if you hang out with us. The solid core of good code allows us in heart-centered ways. You're not going to turn Trump into a heart-centered entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur though, and he plays with knives, and he's hanging around with a bunch of Oompa Loompas right now, and he's going to cut them to pieces, audit their businesses, and take their money. We can use that. He'll flow it into the local economy through federal taxation and IRS audits. He knows how it works. He's been on the other side of it. It's going to be fun. All right. Open minds, key. Bond together. Instead of fear, say, oh, I can do this. You do it with a group. That's how I did it. It's hard to do it alone. Create profitable lanes in all markets, everything. Local government, profitable lanes. Public works, profitable lanes. Art, music, entertainment, theater, TV, local. We used to have that in Chicago. You know how I know how this works? Because I'm from Chicago. That's how I know. We used to have all this stuff. It's gone. LA crushed it. It can come back. Stupid is not an immutable condition. We can fix it. You can fix it. I can fix it. Come on together. It'll happen quick. Have you used Google recently? Look down the fold. There's people there who are good at what they do. There's a dental practice called Clear Choice. They're national. And I have a relative who went to them. And I posted the email we got from those people with the sales pressure on this woman. And it was ugly. And she was persuaded. I had to deal with this and got her into a good oral surgeon. We found him online, buried below the fold. And he has a nice website with a video of him talking about oral surgery and knows what he's doing. It's possible if you know what you're doing with the right support, which is what I've created with a group, not just me. I can't finish anything. It's the same with Elon Musk and all these people. They can't finish. They can't finish. They're good at starting. They can't finish because they can't work with other people. They're not heart-centered enough. That was my challenge, was getting more heart-centered. With open minds, bond together and create profitable lanes in all markets. Those who know have real experience. You can have real experience in 2 years. You work in a restaurant. I worked in a restaurant. I bussed tables, and I had dishwashing shifts. I was in a union at Jewel grocery store. I got good at bagging. I wasn't number one. I was number two. We had contests. I was best at carts. I get those carts in the winter, back into the store, and won. You get good at what you're doing if you care and you do it. And the manager of that Jewel stood there and made sure he directed all the lanes because he knew people got to get out of here. The cashiers and the bag, we were directed. How do you sweep the floor? He's like, Pine Sol, you're doing it wrong. He showed me how to mop a floor. That's how you learn stuff. How else are you going to do it? You're going to learn about it? You're going to listen to somebody's opinion, learn about it, and then watch other people do it, think you know. It doesn't work like that. How are you going to become a good mechanic? You work on a lot of cars, and after a while it hurts. And you're like, okay, the tire companies are screwing me. This is what this guy's telling me. He's explaining. And I used to call on tire companies, so I know exactly what they're doing. And he's explaining what they're doing. I'm like, okay, got it. Not surprised. Now I'm going to get the right tires on my car. I don't have to worry about it. It's hard to find these people, but they're there. And it's getting easier to find them. And it's like, the plumber I found is good. It's from Guatemala. How did he get here? His dad was a welder. They brought him in the United States on a work visa, and he stayed, got citizenship. He's good. He knows how to weld stuff. Same with our handyman. He's from Macedonia. And he's looking at all this crap in the United States. And he's like, they're building this for obsolescence. I could show you all the doorknobs that fall apart. And he's like, all they had to do was machine. He knows how to machine tool stuff because he's from Macedonia and you have to do everything. He's like, he drilled a little divot and now it doesn't fall apart. I'm like, I know how to use an Allen wrench. Why can't I get the thing to stay? It keeps falling apart. My home's from 1940. The furnace, everything's fine. I found a good HVAC company. Finally. The other ones are terrible. They're part of roll-ups and the good people leave when the private equity people show up and the automated systems and the online bullshit from Google. And they don't even know how to use those marketing systems. It's hard. I know we're doing it right now with tagging. We figured it out. They can't do it. And they hire people who don't know how to do it and shouldn't even use it because you don't need to answer the phone. That's what everybody wants. Answer the phone, know what you're doing, make scheduling easy. And it's not that complicated. We used to do this. Let's do it again. Let's do it globally. The United States of America created a lot of these problems. So we owe the world. We owe the world quality. Where's all the cool music coming from right now? Who are the liberation mechanics that are telling the truth in the society? You own your creative product. Creative product appropriation is an option when you have options. Radiohead did it. They pioneered it. Everyone can do this with crowdsourcing technologies now. There's a woman who built a multi-million-dollar business, and she was barely homeless. She was in like a punk rock band, traveling around the world, meeting people on Twitter, and then in X now, better name, idiot owner. And he's canceling people on his own platform when they don't agree with him. It's hilarious. The Oompa Loompas. Trump's going to fire all these people. They're incompetent. He's not that stupid. He's selfish. Self-absorbed. I'd rather have self-absorbed who fires people who are incompetent than someone who plays the politics and worries about whether they're going to be popular or not. He doesn't care because he's got the power and he knows it. He knows how to use it. It's a little dangerous, but we could work with them. I think we'll see. Gulf of America. It's a stunt because he knows that's easy. He'll change it back if it works better. Gulf of Mexico is coming back if all of a sudden Mexico gets all the power. They have more than they think. Those who know, have real experience and care about our markets win the financial battles against big social and technology founder. It's a financial battle. How do you win? You don't have to protest them. Hit them where it hurts, right in the pocketbook. They're too big. They can't run their own companies. Amazon cannot function right now. It's a disaster. These are technology companies and they can't manage their own technology. Think about that. Facebook cannot manage their own technology. There's fake profiles everywhere. They can't manage their own technology. It's a bad company, bad product, bad business model. That means it's going to go away. It's a fad. It's not a fad. It's a trend. Trends can last 50 years. It's still a trend because it's not solid. This is what Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger have been talking about for years. Ray Dalio, another one, talking about it for years. Jeff Hoffman, when he built Priceline online, it was real. Online travel agency, you get a best price for your travel. Now it's all yield management pricing. It's crap. All the online travel. He must be furious. No, I don't think Jeff Hoffman gets furious. I think he helps. He travels around the world, helps people succeed, brings the world together. Bill Gates is trying. He's getting there. It's possible. Larry Ellison, I don't know about, but I think he's He's the real deal. He built Oracle. They had to restate 3 years of earnings, I think. It almost lost it. And he's like, "No, it's bigger than IBM." That's how I feel. What I got is bigger than IBM. No, I don't want IBM. 30 million is good enough. 100 million in the change agent board, though. Educational institution with a publishing arm. Why not? We need it. We could do 50 local chapters in my region, all interconnected together. We won't need Google. You just go to a local chapter meeting and say, "Does anybody know a good plumber?" Those who know, have real experience, and care about our markets win the financial battles. I'll share my own story, how I did it, and how not to copy me. Yes, don't copy me. Bad idea. I did a tour when I lived in Paris. I met this, can I say woman or girl, or what do I have to say? I met this woman and her mom, and I liked her. So I'm like, "You want a tour of Paris?" They said, "Yes." Big mistake. They're like, "This is not what I expected." And I said, "I just showed you the real Paris." And they're like, "This is really weird, but it was kind of fun." And I'm like, "Yeah, you should see these stores. You go in the," I was in the Bastille neighborhood. I took them through the North African neighborhoods by the train stations. I'm like all over the city. And they're like, "Where's the Eiffel Tower?" I said, "It's up there. Get a postcard." Um, So what we focus on is laws, principles, and the mechanics that serve humanity, not society. That's the key to this is the rural people are not going to fix this. The Democrats are not going to fix this. The people in the government are not going to, they're rural people. They're looking for rules. They want to create rules. They want to follow the rules. The rural people, that's why they took those jobs. We're not rural people. Entrepreneurs, you're a coach and you made the plunge in, you left corporate, you're not a rural person anymore. Same with service providers. You got out. Congratulations. Um, that means you're not a rural person. So you can make your own decisions. Don't copy me. But we're going to have a TV network, local. We're already doing it. It's not finished, but now people can see the Field of Dreams in Iowa. And Kevin Costner's daughter, she's like 9 years old. She had the answer. "I know, Daddy. We'll sell tickets."